Well, everybody, yesterday was the end of February, and it was almost 65 degrees. Here it is, March 1st. March is coming in like a lion. I don't know if you can hear, but yeah, we got sleet coming down. Or I should say little ice pebbles. The best way to describe it is, you know, the little beads that go in like stuffed animals and stuff? Yeah, that's what this is like. Crazy. And this cat right here, the bigger one. Oh no, that's Milo. Hi, Milo. His sister, Millie, has been trying to get in the house. Like literally, she's climbing at the door. And we don't let our barn cats come in our house. And they could go in the barn, but they decided to ruin that by going poo-poo in the barn. The only ones that can poo-poo in the barn is the rabbits. But yeah, yesterday was 68 degrees, and here it is March 1st, a little after 1 o'clock in the morning. And yeah, March is coming in like a lion. So they say if March comes in like a lion, goes out like a lamb, right? Well, let's hope that's the case. Of course, with the high weather, who knows? But at least now the winds died down a little bit. I mean, it's still breezy. That's why I came out, because windows were shaking and everything. I'm like, what is going on outside? So, all right. I think I'll get ready to turn in. I got the fire going again. I let it go out this morning because it was going to be 68 degrees. I guess February the 28th. Oh, crazy weather we're having. I'm telling you. But yeah. Alrighty. Here it is on the second day of March 2026, and old man winter is still trying to hold on. Waiting on Carmen's bus. Welcome back to the GNC Family Farms. It is March the 3rd of 2026, and as we say around here on the farm, what happens on the farm stays on the farm, but not today. Well, as you saw in the video there, at the beginning of this video, March came in like a lion. Sunday we had the cold. I dropped. Like I said, it was 70 degrees, almost. Well, it wasn't 70. It was about 68 degrees on Saturday. That night, as you saw in the video there, I was talking about how the windows and everything, it was the wind. And next thing I know, it had sleet coming down. And like I showed you there in the video, it reminded me of the little beads you see like in the bean bags or stuffed animals that they put little foam beads in. That's what it was like. Then Monday we had snow. We had about well, the funny thing is I was up at 5:30, hadn't done anything yet. And then just as we were getting our Carmen around to take her down to the bus stop, it started snowing. I mean, it was just coming down. And we actually were underneath the level 1. Yesterday I did a bunch of work around here, get things done here and there, little things like that. I gotta get these raised garden beds built. This weather we're having is crazy. Like overnight it rained. I mean, it just came down like buckets, and supposed to rain today. It started raining this morning. I went over. I picked up the kitchen table set that my sister-in-law and her husband gave us. I got it in here in the barn now. The tractor's in the back of the barn where I used to park it at. And because I got to sand the whole table down, I got to sand all the benches down, I got to sand the chairs down. But right now I got to let it dry out. So that's a project there I got to get done. I got to get the maintenance done on the tractor. It just seems like I can't catch up for some reason. I don't know what the problem is. Wife saw me about this flower beds, and I'm like, well, I could go set everything up and start doing work out there, and then it starts raining. Or, or drizzling. You can't run power tools in even drizzling. Or even battery tools. So, that just can't happen. On top of that, I got a cold. I woke up. I kind of felt it Saturday, but I didn't think anything about it. But then Sunday, I was like, so I'm dealing with a cold again. I've got it kind of in my chest a little bit. I don't know where I picked it up at. Gee, I don't know. The weather one day is 60, almost 70 degrees. The next day it's in the 20s. We got snow, we got rain, we got warm weather, we got, and when the warm weather happens, that's when the wife really gets us, jitters about, well, we're not going to get the, I'm like, listen, we're going to get things done. It's not happening right away. And maybe, I don't know, maybe it's not going to happen this year. I don't know. I want it to happen because I promised her, but, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it just happens. Sometimes life happens, and, I've got so many things that is building up. Just like she's, wants new, we got to get new chicks. She wants to breed turkeys on the property. She's like, well, when are we going to do this? The weather. I can't do anything when the weather is like it is. It just is. It's not a. Trust me. If we, we get a stretch of weather, it's like. The rest of this week has an incline of temperature, but the rain, it's supposed to rain every single day. I love her to pieces, but as soon as that weather starts getting warm again, she's going to start, well, when are we going to get the raised garden bed done? Well, I don't know. When it stops raining? You can't go work outside with electrical tools because you'll get electrocuted. She wants it magically to appear, is what I think is really her hang up. And I love her to pieces, but, all these projects, I'm only one person. I can only do so much, and I can't work. I have to work around what the weather gives me. Right now everything's on hold. That's why I was like, well, I'll bring that, because they've been wanting us to get that kitchen table set for a couple months now. So I finally got it over here. It's going to be a project that I'm probably working on for a while. The only problem is I didn't think about it before I went to go get it, that I should have done the maintenance on the tractor. I should have went ahead and did the maintenance on the tractor. It's just not really time for the tractor to get maintenance done. But that's what's, it's part of life, it's, you live in a world that everyone wants it now. I mean now. I want it now. I want it now. Well, I want a lot of things too. I want to be done with some of these projects, because my project list it just keeps building. It's like, oh my, on my phone I have a agenda app that I use, and it keeps me on task of what I do, and then whatever I get done, it gets checked off. But right now it's just up in the air with the weather, and I can't do anything. I think it's going to be that kind of year. I think it's going to be one of them years where I'm playing catch up all season. Planting season. As the wouldn't be so bad if we had a greenhouse or a high tunnel. Excuse me. But it is what it is. But yeah, that's what's been going on this couple weeks here. It's been dealing with weather, dealing with snow, dealing with ice, dealing with cold temperatures, dealing with warm temperatures. Everyone gets a spring fever. It's time. Well, no, we still got winter. So anyways, March came in like a lion. I hope it goes out like a lamb, like I said in the video. I thought I'd talk to you a little about here. Every job has parts that are frustrating or moments that seem unfulfilling. And though the routine may not change, the good news is that our way of thinking can. We can decide to work as if the Lord is our boss. It is a choice that makes all the difference. Whatever you do, do your work heartily as for the Lord rather than for men. It is the Lord Jesus Christ whom you and I serve. Treating our jobs like a extension of our service to the Lord changes our attitude. Pleasing Him with all that motivates us to do our best, and eventually results is greater sense of contentment and gratitude. Work may be challenging, frustrating, or boring, but we can be at peace regardless of our circumstances. A servant heart can impact our employees as well. Service that is rendered with kindness, grace, and humility gets co-workers' attention, which is turns open opportunity for ministry to the people whom we spend hours each day with. The rewards are in through the service on the job can take many forms, including great personal satisfaction in our work and opportunities to reflect Christ to do others. There is also the joy of knowing that our Father is pleased by our efforts. So the rewards of working well, that's the key. How do we mumble and grumble because our boss tells us, hey, look, this is what I need to be done, but and you grumble about it. Some of us mope about it. Come on, be honest with it. Come on, let's all be honest. We've all done it one time or another. Trust me, there's been, my boss says, well, I need you to go over and do that. And it's the most assignment that it can be going in and cleaning the bathrooms, or, I don't know, cleaning up someone else's mess, even though you didn't make the mess, but you got to go clean it up. I mean, I don't know about you, but that sometimes kind of really rubs me the wrong way. Like, really, I got to go clean their mess up? But we need to think of it like that. We need to think that we're working for the Lord. And if we do it with a smile and not grumble about whatever our boss tells us to do, and we reflect on what our Lord did for us, and do it with a servant heart. That's what I take away every day when I'm out here working on the property, doing chores, or sanding down tables, or or taking down the trash, or if I'm cleaning the house or doing laundry. Most people say, "Oh, I hate doing laundry. I hate cleaning house." To me, a clean house, when I'm gone, when I get raptured out of here and I go up in the sky to meet the Lord, or if the Lord comes knocking at my door tomorrow, I want my house to look good. I think a clean house says a lot about a person. who lives in there. You know, uh, if your house has always got food laying around, or you got food on the floor, or crumbs on the floor, you let your kids just do whatever they want, walk around with food. You know, what condition is your house in? And if we think of it as, like I said, I want, if the Lord comes knocking at my door tomorrow, and I let him in, I want him to say, "Wow, this is a nice house." You know, I don't know how many times. I always think about this when I'm cleaning the bathroom, especially the bathroom of all places, before a party, because I've been to people's houses for parties, cookouts, or whatever, and I go to the bathroom. Who doesn't go to the bathroom at a party? Maybe some of you don't go. Glad you do, but I don't. Um, but anyways, when you go into a bathroom and it's dirty, you know what I'm saying? It's got dust everywhere, and it just hasn't been deeply cleaned, or even the toilet's got pee on it, or you might see some poopy or whatever. And I understand you can't help what other guests do, but you can tell when someone has taken the time to clean that bathroom. I just believe that that's the when we're having parties at our house, outside or inside, what does people use the most? They use the toilet. They use the bathroom, maybe to wash their hands with. So I always make sure there's nice, the soap is always filled up. I make sure there's hand sanitizer. I make sure that there's paper towel. We have a paper towel holder in our bathroom, so that way you wash your hands, grab a towel, dry them up, put them in the trash can. I make sure the trash can's empty. You know, the bathroom is the bathroom and the kitchen should be the most areas of your home where you really hit hard on. You should not have dirty dishes laying around, or let's say you cleaned all the dishes, but you leave them all stacked up in the strainer. You know, that's kind of tacky, But you know what I'm saying? I just believe in a clean house means that you serve the Lord. Um, I've been to places where, it's like, oh my gosh, when was the last time they cleaned? Or do they even clean? And it's always so funny they make excuses why they, because they might, I don't know if they see me looking around or what, but, I've had people say, well, uh, I would have had a chance to clean, but, just with the kids and stuff, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, man, I had three boys growing, when they were growing up. And my house always was clean. They knew better too. They didn't eat in the living room. They weren't allowed to walk around with food. They weren't allowed to walk around with a sippy cup or a bottle. Uh, my kids were taught that the kitchen is where you eat, you drink, and be merry, and that's where you have your food. And it doesn't go beyond to the couch or to the love seat or whatever you have, or just walking through the house. Poor Carmen yesterday came to me, and she, or not yesterday, Sunday, came to me Sunday and said, Dad, I found this in my bedroom, and it was a half-eaten cookie. Now, I told her, I said, if you see one of the kids have a cookie or whatever, remind them nicely to take it back to the kitchen. And if they won't do it, come get me and I will help redirect it. And this ain't the first time the kids have taken stuff into her room. And she's a lot like me when it comes to cleaning. She likes to keep her room clean. Sometimes, she's a typical child. But yeah, she just, she cracks me up. They had food in my room and they were making a mess, and I tried to tell them, but they wouldn't listen to me. I said, well, did you come tell me? No. I said, well, it's whose fault is it, Well, that's pretty much it of all this video. Like I said, this week has kind of been a roller coaster. I really don't have anything planned. When I start doing the table, this kitchen set. That'll be a video. Oh, excuse me. I'm tired. Um, this table set, there is a video out there that I did do the videoing on the previous owner's kitchen table that was in our kitchen now, the dark one that I stained dark. This won't have a dark stain on it. Um, I think it's going to be like I don't know. I haven't really decided what stain. I know it's not going to be dark. It's going to be a light color stain. Um, yeah, but I got to let it dry out because the table has been sitting outside for pretty much since when they moved. Well, no, I take it back. I think they had it down in their basement for a while and then they moved it outside. But it's been out since like summertime, so it needs to dry out. So it's going to be a while before I can even get to the bench and the table. The one bench really is bad. It's got a lot of green moss growing on it. Right now it's got pine needles stuck to it. But that's fine. It's free. I'm not gonna complain about something free. You know, I knew that I was going to sand it down. I knew that I was going to put a stain on it. Probably put a water sealant on it as well to make it last longer. And it's a nice table set. No, I'm not going to show you just yet. Like I said, that's a video coming up. And, yeah, Sunday videos are probably not going to be going on anymore. And I'm not going to say it's never going to happen, but for now, I'm just, you know, I just have a little too much on my plate to do Sunday videos. So, yeah, I'm just not going to do any more Sunday videos for a while. I'm just going to do a Wednesday, catch it all, and hopefully you like it. All right, as we say right here, peace, love, and joy comes from knowing our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. We all hope you have a very blessed rest of the week. Tomorrow is Friday Eve. Ooh, ooh, ooh. And I hope you all have a happy hump day. And, but I just want you to watch this video because I literally put myself in this woman's shoes because you ever heard the saying, you reap what you sow? Well, I love having fun with Carmen because she watches shows about these young kids that she follows on YouTube, and they talk about skinwalkers and deer woman, and you know, because they're always doing like fake hunts, and just like last night she's like, "Mommy, we need to start setting traps for the leprechaun," you know. But anyway, so the video you're about to see, I can see myself being this woman because I can see Carmen doing this to me when she gets older. Yeah. I definitely can see this happen because there's been a couple times that I've went out to the pool in the middle of the night. So, yeah, I definitely, I can see my beautiful girl, little Carmen, doing this to me. Or maybe even my wife if she really wants to get back at me. But I mostly can see Carmen doing this. So, anyways, enjoy the video. I will see you on the next video. Love y'all.
Y'all, I'm done. I'm done. Having kids is not for the weak. It's just not. Last night I couldn't sleep. Couldn't sleep to save my life. I was bored. I can't clean, cook, or do laundry because I don't want to wake everybody up. I'm trying to be respectful. Walking around my house, I was bored. Oh my God, I was so bored. Ow, my butt is so bruised. You know what, a daily dose of birth control don't even cover what was done to me. She is vicious. Why are 11-year-olds so mean? I couldn't sleep last night, just couldn't. And about 1 o'clock in the morning, I gave up. I lost all sanity. And then I realized, it is really hot out. It's dark out, and we have a pool. We have a pool. So I decided to grasp my youth and go skinny dipping. There I am, creeping outside in my robe. All the lights are off, except for the one light by the shed. And this is important you know this, because that one light by the shed throws just enough light over the backyard that I can kind of see the majority of the backyard. I just can't see it around the shed area. Whatever, I don't care. I don't have neighbors. So up the pool I go, down the robe goes, and I get into the pool, and it is The water is warm from the hot sun. The water is, oh, it was like so warm. The air was cool and I was swimming. And people, I was free. If you don't remember what skinny dipping is like, oh, reconnect with your wild youth, people, because for the first, I don't know how many minutes, I was enjoying life. I really was. And then it happened. The growl. From somewhere around the shed, and again, I can't see because that's the word that's dark at, comes this growl. This low, deep, feral growl. Well, I'm going to tell you right there were places on my body that puckered up that I didn't know could pucker. Yep. And as I'm standing chest deep in water going, what the fuck? Some branches started to snap. Now, right away, every horror movie I've ever watched is ripping through my mind. What is it? 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 Do I have a weapon? No, I do not have a weapon. I have nothing. I am naked in my pool at some time after 1 o'clock in the morning, and there is something growling in the woods within 25 feet of me. And now there's branches snapping. Oh my God, I'm so happy we don't have urine detector in this pool, because I am one more crackle away from chihuahuaing my bladder. And as I go to slowly back up, the sound of like nails on wood, just that, but louder, hits me, and I go, oh my God. Yo, whatever this is, it's big. I gotta get out of here. I gotta get out of here. I'm starting to full on panic. My pulse is hammering. I can't breathe. I'm freaking out. And then something comes bursting out from behind the shed. If you know what a ghillie suit is for turkey hunting, but this ghillie suit, in my moments of panic, looked like a large mass just booking for me. And this large mass happened to have the skeletal head of a deer, the skull and the antlers. Windy no-no. First thing that hit my mind is, Jesus Christ, they're real. I let out a shriek that probably was heard in outer space, turned around and ran for the edge of the pool. Now, we have an above ground pool, and I attempted to hurl my 5'4" body over the 5 foot tall pool edge. And you know what? I got stuck about midway, but because of the rate of me flipping myself over the edge, gravity decided, oh, it works. And I fell and I landed on the ground, and I landed on the ground hard. And not only did I land on the ground, but my butt landed on the brick that we use to hold the pool covering down when it's a windy day. And I'm laying there and I can't even make a noise. I'm full on, because ow, I'm scared shitless. My butt's been violated and I'm just laying on the very cold, wet, grassy ground. And all of a sudden, my daughter comes running around the side of the pool laughing at me. But then seeing my naked body just sprawled like a freaking turtle on its back, she starts screaming and pointing. Now I'm screaming because there she is, and I wasn't ready for that. She's still holding the damn deer skull. So finally, I rolled over, power crawled my way to my robe, put it on, ran in the house, and got dressed. And then I went out to the kitchen and I made 2 cups of cocoa. And my daughter pointed out she will never again call it skinny dipping. It is now officially chunky dunking. Because there's nothing skinny about Mama. But you have those kids. You have those kids, Deborah.